You must have noticed a drastic change on this channel. Well, typically this used to be a football channel with the name Michael's Football Analysis, but suddenly the name has changed to Catholic Faith Explained. Well, looking at all of the videos on this channel, you're going to notice that this used to be a football channel, and after having 6,000 plus subscribers and is already monetized, why exactly did I switch from football niche to Catholic faith niche? We're going to look into all of this in this particular video, so make sure you stick around. Hello guys, my name is Michael Onyekachi Kevin Emeronekwe. Don't worry about the surname, most people can't actually pronounce my surname. So I am the sole creator of this channel, and like what I said earlier, this originally used to be a football channel with the name Michael's Football Analysis, but recently I transitioned this channel from a football niche to Catholic niche. So in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my life story, so I want to encourage you to please stick around. There's a lot you're going to learn. I'm going to share with you how I started YouTube, the challenges I faced on YouTube. I'm going to share with you how I was able to transition this channel from football analysis to a Catholic faith niche. I'm going to share with you my personal story about my faith journey as a Catholic, what I have faced in life. I want to ensure you to stick around. While growing up, I've always loved football. I have always loved football, and back in the days, Messi used to be my idol. You know, I used to consider Messi, I still consider Messi as the greatest footballer of all time. And although I still respect Cristiano Ronaldo a lot, and I also have other good players like Neymar, Mbappe, and the rest of them. So the thing is that I've always loved football, and because of this, I never really wanted to go to school. I never wanted to go to university. After my secondary school years, I always thought of myself as a professional football player. I wanted to go to Europe, you know. I felt like maybe I wanted to play for teams like Barcelona, Arsenal, Chelsea. You get the idea, right? So, but this dream was actually very, very ambiguous. There was a lot to the story. Back then, my mom wanted me to go to school just like she did, you know, finish secondary school, go to university, get a good job and have a good life. That was her idea, but I never really wanted that particular lifestyle. I wanted to follow my dream. I wanted to play football. So we relocated from our previous home to a new area, and that helped me join a local football team. So I started out with football. I got into a football team. I started training, and then I wasn't really that good, so I started my own personal training. I trained very, very early in the morning, from like the hours of 6:30 to 8:30, 9. So I wanted to become the best amongst the others. I wanted to play football. I wanted to go pro. I wanted to be very, very good. You get the idea, right? So that has been the story of football ever since. But then something happened. Anytime I played football with my teammates, like maybe in matches, I never really felt that comfortable. I always felt comfortable training on my own. So it was kind of weird, because maybe my teammates didn't really like me. They felt like I'm not aggressive enough as a footballer. But then I enjoyed playing football with, you know, my friends and people that I connected with. It's not necessarily about a do or die affair. So this was one of the major challenges I had with the local football team back then. But nevertheless, I still had this hope of going to Europe one day, but something happened. Along the line, I was facing a lot of financial challenges. My mom then, who used to be the breadwinner, who still is the breadwinner of the family, told me that she couldn't support me further because the challenges were much and I needed to go get a job or something, or I could go to school, because I told her that I didn't want to go to school. I wanted to play football. So the decision was so daunting for me that at some point in 2020, I had to drop football. After playing football for complete 4 years, I had to drop football. I had to go learn a skill. I had to learn computer, how to operate computer. that wasn't enough because I was just learning the skill. I wasn't really earning any income, so I had to go into teaching. So I applied for a school and I started teaching as a full-time teacher. But then my football dreams didn't really die off. Now, I started my YouTube career in 2021 when I also started teaching. So my sister just told me to start online works just on the part-time. So I opened my first channel. Not even this particular channel that you're seeing right now is a different channel than this. I actually had 2, 3, 4 channels, but as a novice, YouTube deleted some of them. I actually have another one that's still remaining. YouTube have not deleted it. I don't have much videos on it. You get the idea. So then I wasn't doing football niche. I was just doing random stuff, affiliate marketing, promoting one thing or the other, from weight loss to exercising. I didn't really understand what I was doing on YouTube. So it got to 2022, the 2022 FIFA World Cup, when Argentina beat France in the finals. Messi finally lifted the World Cup. That was a golden moment for me. Back then, the way I celebrated, it was so intense. After that celebration, it dawned on me that instead of just arguing about Messi or talking about Messi, why not actually start a football channel, sharing your love for football? That was when the idea of creating this particular channel started. And now, remember, the World Cup final was played on December 18, 2022. So I actually started this particular channel on January 12/13, 2023. So back then, when I just started this channel, the only mindset that I had was I wanted to talk about Messi. I just wanted to talk about football. Who is the GOAT? Messi versus Ronaldo. You get the idea. So that was how I started football channel. And when I started that channel in 2023, remember I told you that I used to be a full-time school teacher. I took a really deep decision. I had to stop teaching. That was crazy, but it was worth it, honestly. I had to stop teaching. I resigned from my teaching job and I went into YouTube full-time. I had no source of income. I just had that mindset that I'm going to get monetized in maybe 1 month or something, but actually that was far from reality. It didn't really happen. So let's continue the story. While starting my football channel, I didn't really know anything much about YouTube. I told you that I had other YouTube channel that I wasn't really understanding what I was doing there. I was just posting random stuff and things like that. So when I actually started out on this particular channel, formerly called Michael's Football Analysis, I started learning about YouTube, how to create engaging thumbnails, hook, audience retention, and things like that. And one major challenge that I faced on Michael's Football Analysis was copyright claim, because this is one major challenge that most football content creators on YouTube actually go through. So I didn't really understand what is copyright blocked, and stuff like that. So because of my zeal to be a YouTuber, and the fact that I was unable to continue my football career because of money, I had to continue YouTube one way or the other. I had to continue to learn. I was learning about YouTube. I started learning all of these YouTube policies, their terms, their condition. It wasn't really easy for me, honestly speaking. Actually, it took me, I started that channel, like I said, in January. So then I had no money. I literally begged from some of my friends from church, to assist me, telling them about my plans on YouTube. So a particular person, may God bless him, he supported me with 20,000 naira. So I started my football channel. I borrowed online loans to kick off. Well, you get the idea, right? So when I started out on YouTube in January, it took me till September of 2023 to get my first 100 subscribers. Because then, like I said, I didn't really understand, how to grow fast. it was not easy. I won't lie. There are times you post videos, 0 views and things like that. So after September of 2023, I continued. Then as at December 31st, 2023, I got 165 subscribers, but then I didn't give up. On January 1st, 2024, I saw some progress in my channel. I felt like, okay, I think I can still do this. So after that, in February 2024, I was able to get my first 500 subscribers. And then February 19/20/2024, I was able to get my first 1,000 subscribers. In fact, this is actually a year that I actually got that first 1,000 subscribers. So congratulations to me. It wasn't really easy. So at that time I was like, man, I don't reach 1,000, so I'm going to cash out very soon. Then my watch hour was around 70 something or thereabout. So I had to continue going. My watch hour continued to increase and increase little by little. The growth, like I said, it wasn't coming that fast. It was kind of slow. So I was able to complete my 4,000 watch hours on YouTube towards the ending of October. That was when I was able to complete my first my 4,000 watch hours. And then I got into the AdSense wahala. I opened a different AdSense account. I got stuck. The whole thing was just so confusing, but nevertheless I was able to resolve it. On November 1st, 2024, my AdSense was approved, my monetization was active, and I started running ads. But then along the line, I noticed that after I hit monetization, I got motivation dips. I found it difficult to keep uploading videos. I felt unfulfilled as a content creator. It's like as if I was struggling. I was forcing myself to show up. But nevertheless, because I still love football, I persevered up till this particular moment. And then on January 1st, it dawned on me that there was a time to make a change. Now, in last year, sometime January last year, in 2024, my family members told me to, talk about football, talk about Catholic faith, that I'm experienced, that a lot of people could learn a lot from me. But then I didn't really put in much thought into it because my mindset was strictly football based. Most of my friends in church also suggested the same thing to me, but again, I didn't really give much thought into it. But on January 1st, the Spirit kept ministering to me that I ought to do this, I could do this, I need to do this. So that's it about my football story so far. So now I'm going to talk about my journey as a Catholic. Well, I was born from a typical Catholic family. My mom, my dad, my siblings, all of us are pure Catholics. I was baptized as a Catholic from infants. I received my first Holy Communion in 2009. I did my confirmation in 2014. And so far, I've joined several societies in the church: the Purgatorian Society, St. Anthony of Padua, MCA, that's Missionary Child Association, and Legion of Mary Mass Server. These are the societies that groomed me while I was still very young in the faith. But then there was one particular society that made me the person that I am today, and that is the Legion of Mary, coupled with Mass Server. So my journey as a legionary has really shaped me a lot. It was through the Legion of Mary that I entered the catechist body, where I started teaching catechism classes on Sundays. But before then, I was a legionary from a very young age, and I grew to the adult presidium, and my faith as a Catholic continued to grow. So back then, when I was still much younger, a lot of people came with different challenges. They felt like I was too good to be a Catholic. They weren't really interested in if I was a good person or not. The fact that I just mentioned, oh, I am a Catholic, many of them will always have a problem with you. So this challenged me while I was still in secondary school, but then it also made me to become stronger because I wanted to learn more, I wanted to understand more, and I tried to let people understand what they believe. what we believe as Catholics. So these are the foundations of my faith. So continuing in my Catholic faith, I have been able to discuss with so many people. I have asked questions from priests. I have, like I said, I belong to so many societies in the church. So my faith in God has continued to grow through the Catholic faith. So it dawned on me that there is something bigger that I needed to do. You know, like I told you, the reason for the switch actually didn't come because I stopped liking football. I have always liked football, and I still do like football. But when the Spirit continued to minister to me that I ought to teach the faith, that a lot of Catholics don't actually know their faith. If you ask them, okay, why do we make the sign of the cross? Many of them actually don't know. They just see it as something that we do. Or why do we use ashes on our foreheads on Ash Wednesday? Many of them know, the many Catholics do not know. So these are some of the things that I feel like a lot of Catholics need to be catechized about the faith. So this has been the foundation of why I switched from football niche to faith niche, because it was more of a divine calling. It was not something that I just felt like, oh, maybe because I'm not having views on this channel or on this niche, let me just switch to this niche so that I will just make it fast. No, those were not actually the reasons. Actually, thinking about it, some people suggested that I create a different channel other than this particular one so that I can just start afresh, but the Spirit didn't really come to me that way. One of the teachings that strengthened me was the calling of the disciples. Like when Jesus called Peter, he says Peter left his fishing, everything, all the fishes in his boat, and followed Jesus. So this really touched me a lot, because fishing has always been something that Peter liked. For the fact that Peter had to leave it immediately to follow Jesus, you know, it dawned on me that I really needed to take this path. That's not that I stopped liking football, but that I really needed to do this for God. So it was my reason for switching from football niche to faith niche is purely based on the inspiration of the Holy Spirit and the willingness to let Catholics understand what we teach. Because the problem is that we Catholics don't actually understand most of the things that we do, and that is why you will see a Catholic, after so many years, he will get converted to another faith, and before you know it, he will tell you, I have seen the light, or I was in bondage. So when I hear those kinds of statements, it really touches me a lot. Like, how exactly were you in bondage, or how were you not seeing the light? So the problem is that many a time we just go through all of these things on the surface, but without really understanding the deeper meaning of what we do in the church. So this is where the true calling to start Catholic Faith Explained originated from. I want us as Catholics to discuss together, to share faith, to rub minds together. I want us to understand what we truly believe, what we truly teach, what we truly do in the Catholic Church. Talking about Mary, the saints, whatever doctrine of the church it may be. My aim of switching this channel from football topics to faith topics is to enable we the Catholics to have an understanding, and also even for those outside the church, probably Catholics who left the church, or many non-Catholics who are asking questions. Okay, why does Catholics do this? Why do Catholics pray to Mary? So these are some of the questions that we need to address. So this was where I got the inspiration to start Catholic Faith Explained. I know some of you may be asking, you already have 6,000 subscribers, why didn't you just switch? But I felt like switching to a different, starting it on a different channel wasn't really the calling. I needed to start right from where I am, because managing 2 channels for me may not be as practical as possible. So, well, this has been my story so far. I just had to cut some parts because so that I won't make this video too long. But honestly, it hasn't really been easy being a content creator. I faced a lot of doubts. I faced a heartbreak. I faced a lot of challenges, financial challenges. You know, it wasn't really easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It was not easy for me. But I want to tell you that it was worth it. And YouTube is something that I'm still learning. YouTube is something that I still continue to learn. YouTube is a long game. So this is my journey so far. So moving forward, you're not going to be seeing videos about Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, and the likes. So what more you're going to be seeing is things related to the Catholic faith. So if you're not a Catholic watching this video and you are interested to learn why Catholics do certain things, I want to tell you to keep sticking around. Continue to stay subscribed. You are going to learn. And if you're a Catholic, definitely you should stick around, because we are going to learn a lot of things. I promise you, by the grace of the Holy Spirit that has been empowered on me. So I want to thank you all who supported me while I was still under Michael's football analysis, and I want to promise you that as we have transitioned from football to faith content, there's a lot we are going to learn together. So stick around, and I want to encourage you, always learn to walk with the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, regardless of external validation, regardless of what any person might say. Continue to walk with the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. So at this juncture, I want to say welcome to Catholic Faith Explained.